Greg Weeks for Graphics Programming, Assignment 8. Actually, Assignment 8 this time, I'm getting the numbers correct. So as you can see here, the fog demo is working for color light. So I'm just going to demo color light here because I've actually integrated color texture light into the mirror demo, and I'll get into that later. But yeah, so in the HLSL we're not using the hard-coded values here, and we're actually passing in values through a buffer. So creating the buffer here, and in DXApp, setting the fog data. Yeah, so that's relatively straightforward. And if we go over to mirror, let's run that real quick. So you can see the malfunctioning mirror demo, but the fog will be working with textures and lighting. So we got our textures, got our light, and you can see the fog start creeping in as we get further and further away. Alright. Yeah, so in shader texture light, got our fog buffer, and in the HLSL, passing in those values. Alright. Okay, so onto the mirror demo itself. So as you might have noticed, things don't look exactly right. There we go. Yeah, so just at first glance, the other end of this plane, I couldn't figure out how to not render it through the stencil. So that's one thing. And at first glance, the lighting seems to be working, but it is only facing one direction, so I couldn't get the rotations completely working on that light. But yeah, other than that, the mirror is functional. It's reflecting all of these objects with textures, and these cubes do have textures on them. I don't know why that's not really showing up properly. As you can see, if the light hits it at the right angle, you can see the brick texture on it. So I think that's just a problem with my settings there. Yeah, let's just walk through this. So in draw scene, so we're rendering the plane here, setting the texture light to context. Then we're setting the light parameters in step 3, and I'm taking the position of the light cube and multiplying it by the reflection matrix. So yeah, this is what I did to actually get the light to appear, but it's not, this isn't the correct math because it's not actually rotating the correct way. So there's some additional step that I need to do on this, and I couldn't figure it out this week. But yeah, the mirror is actually not a shader texture, because I actually passed in all of my graphic objects for this assignment just to make it go smoother. It didn't exactly go smoother, but it was a little bit easier to write everything initially, because everything is just a graphics object, except for, well, the mirror is a graphics object, but it's not a texture light, it's just a color light, because it doesn't need a texture on it. Okay, yeah, so I'm going through all these steps, and I couldn't exactly figure out how to get the light rotations to work, or at which point to render that first plane, because you could see it actually sticking through the other mirror there. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at for this assignment, and that's what I've got. So I will see you in class.